Aylin, a healer from the Infernal faction, is coming to the global server this weekend on the 10x banner. And if I were you, I wouldn't sleep on her. Good day everybody, Sebastian Keen's back with you with another Watch Our Realms video. In this video I'm going to be discussing Aylin. She's a healer from the Infernal faction and she is being introduced to the global server during this weekend's 10x. One of the best attributes of Aylin is her wide AoE range. As you can see here, she has a phenomenal coverage area that will open up things for you in terms of formations and try to make sure that your team can sustain, especially in situations where you need quick healing. Everything about Aylin relies on her divine moonlight and those in every one of these stacking, correct? So the divine moonlight increases her healing multiplier by 1%, which is based on attack. So you want to build attack on her on top of putting HP to make sure that she survives. When she activates her ultimate, the Area of Moon, she will increase her multiplier by 70%, and you can scale this up to 100. And not only that, her speed of the healing increases by 100%. So you'll see during the battle right away, and you'll see right here, you see in that pulsating moon just throwing heals on your heroes as quickly as you can, and that lasts for 15 seconds in comparison to the most of the other healers where I think only their ultimates only last 10 seconds. She has a little bit of a high cost, but you can bring that down to 1,000. So once you invest on that and you bring this one to 1,000, you'll be surprised at how fast her ultimate will come back around for you. One of her passives is when you get the 25 stacks of Divine Moonlight, which you can decrease to 20, her healing multipliers increase by 20%. So just imagine that you're getting from the ultimate, you're increasing it by 70 almost. You can scale this up to 100, and then additionally you adding 20% on top of that. That is a lot of healing. You will then also, once you get all the stacks that you can, which in this case could be 20 if you skill her up, you will actually activate her damage mitigation passive, and your allies in range will receive 10% less damage from her or from the enemy. The solitary passive, again, it heals every ally. The healing multiplier increases by 1% and then acquires one additional stack of Divine Moonlight. You can increase the stacks if you invest the crystals on her. You can increase that to 3, and her healing multiplier, you can bring that up to 3. So you, by scaling her up, you can bring these stacks to 20 or 25 fairly quickly. Her cost, this is the best thing about her, I think, is that her cost is very low, which is only 6. Her revival time is 60. If you look at her hero details, I think that a lot of people right away get turned off by the fact that her base attack is only 3229. So when you try to build her and you try to put attack percentage, bangle and, or you know, a bangle in a ring or a bangle in an amulet, that you're not gonna see the increases in attack as you would. But given that her divine moonlights are multiplying her healing ability, and there you can bring that up to almost 120%, it makes up for it for the light locks that, or Esrens, LONs, hollows that are based on attack that are in that range of 4,500 based attack. She will just do just as well when it comes to healing, in making sure that she keeps your allies alive when possible. If you get her a 1, increases the healing multiplier even more, especially in targets that are below by 30%, to 30 by 30%. Okay. So it's just any ally that is below 30%, she's just going to throw tremendous heals on them. Your healing effect here is increased. And this one here, On the third awakening, you see that during the effect of Lunar Haven, further increases her healing multiplier by 10%, and then her Divine Moonlight reaches the max stack, the healing range will be extended. So she already has a very large healing nexus. You get her to awaken 3, you are enhancing that even further. Last, when the area of moon ends, every stack of Divine restores 6 rage. So her rage is already 1,000 if you get her fully skilled up. You get her to A5, this thing comes back around a lot quicker, and you're going to be able to keep your allies fairly healthy. Fortunately for me on this account, starting out, you know, starting out my account here and being able to summon her fairly early on along with Elowen, I have had the chance to compare the two. Of course, Elowen is going to be phenomenal when it comes to trying to not only getting those heals, but we also use her because she is able to push our rage. She has that wooden elf, right, that we can use to extend her healing range in a sense, and she also has the ability to remove debuffs. So when players compare Aylin to Elowen, to Laia, and those that have been lucky enough to get Carnelian, I think that, and even Sadie in some regard, right? Sadie's an HP based healer though, and she has that big damage mitigation that she has to offer you. People don't feel like she has a lot to offer in comparison to all these things, so they just see, okay, so she only does heals, so people then underrate her. I think that because of the amount of healing that she can do, it actually puts her as one of the best healers that we have, and it's at least in the legendary category. That will help you immensely, especially if you're in the early and mid game. And I acquired her very early on, and I became more reliant on her at times than I did Vortex. Okay, and we all know the Vortex can be used in the end game. So besides using her in GR2, I did for a while there try to use her in AMR, but then Elowen took over, and that was a lot had to do with the rage, right? We needed to come back to those ultimates faster. But I am still using her in certain situations. What are those situations? Well, I'm using her in the Void Rift. In one of the areas, at least I don't have this rotation for me right now, but one of my preferred areas to use her in is not in the Calypso battles, but it is in the Aracha battles, okay, where you have these boulders just coming at you, right? And if you have any melee units on the platform, you know they're gonna get killed within 2 hits. If I put Aylin in that situation there, and she is able to sustain the hits just as well, because I do put HP on her, she's able to not only heal herself but heal everybody. I'm not gonna give you any spoilers yet, but in Immortal Codex I'm finding very good utility for her. So let me kind of show you as to how I think she could excel in your account, and those examples are gonna come from GR2. So here I collected a couple of clips, and one of them is going to be Aylin, which is at the bottom, and the other one is going to be on top, which is Vortex, just to give you a general example of what I'm trying to show you here. So I'm going to play the Vortex clip here, and this is kind of already after the first wave of GR2, and so now you have the boulders coming out, and, you know, we're going to start getting the very first major wave come out. So this is GR1 or GR2 stage 18, right? As you can see from the sand that's blowing, so we're getting damage over time. So what I was trying to do here, so you see everybody now, I have several of my heroes that are very low in health, and I'm going to activate Vortex here before the slam comes in. And so what I wanted him to do is try to heal everybody as we start to try to sustain the smashes or the shrieks from the golem, right? So then now, as you can see, even through Vortex's ultimate, that Baron and Here is Falcia, are fairly low in health, right? They're still alive in comparison to Oleg's, which is where he was Vortex was targeting and trying to heal him. So if we go back a little bit here, you can see Oleg is sustaining, right? And then we see after that we're losing health due to the slams, but after the ultimate, Vortex did a fairly good job sustaining the heroes. But now Vortex has a lot of catching up to do to try to heal everybody back up. Now, if you see, look at here in the bottom for Aylin, the first thing you're going to notice is look at her range. Look at that coverage area that she can offer you, regardless of the situation, right? There are other battles where she's going to give you some great coverage. So here I'm going to play this battle here, at least to the same spot where I have the Vortex battle ending, or where I stopped the Vortex clip here. So this is all going to be the same setup. We're taking damage over time from the blowing sand. Now we're trying to kill everybody else, and we're going to try to survive the shriek, right? So in this case, I activated Aylin's ultimate, and we're going through the shrieks. We're going through the shrieks. Look, the ultimate's still on. The ultimate's still on. And sure enough, she was able to pretty much get everybody back their HP as soon as after the slams were done. So here's let me put the Vortex battle here, and then let me go back up here for Aylin. Let me retread that back a little bit just so you can see that again. So let me go back here. So activating, I'm gonna activate the ultimate as soon as it's on for everybody. So there's Baron, there's Oleg, there's Falcia, and there is Elder for me. So he is doing his shrieks. He's trying to slam us down, but you can see her moon is just keeping everybody alive and almost in full health, and she's taking in the boulders at the same time. So the extent by which she can heal is amazing in comparison to the other heroes that we have in the game, and we shouldn't be shortcutting this, right? We shouldn't just cast her aside right away and say she's not any good. Whether there's the debate that you have to make is you have to analyze your account, and then you have to ask yourself, is this somebody that I need to add? Do I need to pursue it? And do I want to take a chance of possibly also getting Calypso in the mix? So you have to take all those things into consideration. If I was early game and I needed a healer, I would definitely go for Aylin. Let me go back to the top here, of the clip that I'm showing here. And in this case, I actually have Elowen. I'm bringing Elowen. I don't want to shortcut. I don't want to shortcut what she can do, right? Because she's a very good healer. We all want her. But in this situation, she's not going to do as good of a job for us as Aylin does. Mostly because, one, she doesn't have the coverage area, right? So she can possibly protect one of our fighters, but she won't be able to protect both of them. But she can also get her tanks, right? And if you give her enough HP, she's able to take the boulders. So let me advance this a little bit. And again, I'm going to try to wait to activate the heals here. If I see my heroes getting too low, or right before this slam comes in. So I'm going to fast forward here a little bit. So here comes the shrieks. So I activated the ultimate. Now you can see Elowen is keeping everybody alive, except for Elder, because she didn't have the coverage area. And she is able to fill everybody in. So there's no question in my mind that when it comes to comparing an Elowen to Aylin, that they're both are doing a great job. It's just that Elowen has the additional ability to push our rage, number one, and two, there's that wooden elf that we can get, right? And that can supplement her extent So if maybe I would have placed her a little bit earlier, right? And she could take the initial hits from the golem, and that would probably have given us enough time to have the wooden elf available, where I could possibly rescue the other fighter. So I'm not saying that she's on par with Elowen. No, I think Elowen is probably the best healer in the game if you don't have Laia. But Aylin can definitely do just as good as a job as Elowen can do. So to kind of give you an idea of the mid-game type build that I have on her, of course I'm going stats over sets early on to begin with. I did choose to go with the salvation to give her a little bit of healing effect on her, and then as you can see, I tried to get HP and attack bonus pieces on her. And then when it came to the Vangle, you can see that I did pick healing effect, attack bonus, and attack bonus. Once you start getting into the upper stages, you can start considering things like, let me see if I can pull this out here, go here, yes, right here. So for sure, you're probably going to be looking at invigoration for her. That's what you want to get her. You're going to get her some healing effect. You can increase the attack of an ally next to her. That's her end game type of set that you want to get on her here. And for the left hand side, you probably want to consider Warlord to give an additional attack and attack speed. And that would be kind of the end game build that you're going to want to try to look for her. If you're looking for mid-game sets, mid-game going to end-game sets, and you're looking at Asclepia's set where you can get some HP and some healing effect if you want her, and then you can just go attack bonus for all three of them. And then as you can see here, I was actually trying to get the Glacier set completed at her, because we do gain an attack bonus for every set of HP that we get at her. So that's kind of the sets that I'm looking for her, and try to get her here in the mid game. Another one, if you just want to make sure that she can tank things, the Guardian set, and just make sure that you have some very good attack percentage, HP bonus, and healing effect rolls. So in the future, I am hoping to bring out more videos of Aylin for you, especially as I tackle the Immortal Codex and I start recording some of that content in the Forerunner server. And I'm telling you right now that I have found situations where she does come in handy in that regard, and it is somebody that I probably would be relying on, along with Elowen, to make sure that content is completed, or even at the boss stage to try to get as much damage as possible. So what do you think of Aylin? Are you going to pursue her? Let me know in the comments below. If you do appreciate this video, please do hit like and subscribe, and I will see you all next time on another Watch Our Realms video.
Their souls are mine to take.